All right, guys, I think I'm live this time. Listen. When it comes to technical things, I am not your girl. I am the CEO's publicist. Ask me how to get you featured, but do not ask me what goes on when technology decides it's going to act up. Yes, I am on. Welcome. This is some kind of record, guys. Twice in 2 weeks. I swear to God, I am the CEO's publicist, as I mentioned before, Carla Williams Johnson. Hey, Brian, how are you? I haven't seen you in so long. Showstopper, welcome. Andrea is in the house, and yes, we'll be talking to Andrea today, the financial guru, talking about all things money and the money moves that we need to make for 2023. As you know, the strategic planning power party is coming up in December from the 9th to the 11th, and on the 11th is when we're going to have a huge in-person face-to-face brunch where you can come and you can connect with people, you can talk to people, and you can get all the advice you need, like the advice you're going to get tonight from Andrea. So let me see if I could bring Andrea. Dun dun dun. I need special effects. Dun dun. Is she coming on? Yay!
Hello.
Good night. I was just explaining to the audience, don't ask me about technology. Ask me how to get your featured, right? Don't ask me about technology and how it works and how it chooses to work when it wants to work, right? Welcome, Andrea. As I was telling everyone, Andrea is the financial guru. She is the one that helps us make the smart money moves. We're not just making normal money moves. We're making smart money moves because we need to make our money work for us. Yes, making a lot of money is always a good idea, but how do we manage that money so we can make more, that we can create wealth, that we can create a legacy? We don't want to just be living client to client. We didn't leave our corporate paycheck to paycheck to come and live client to client and then be struggling. Like, we didn't do that, right? So, Andrea, please introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, everyone. I am Andrea Ragoo, and I am your virtual CFO. I help you manage your money. I am the voice of your money, and I help you make better financial decisions about your money and your business.
Awesome. So we have Grenada in the house. We have Trinidad in the house. We have a couple other Caribbean islands in the house. So welcome, guys. So, Andrea, you are the financial guru. I'm the PR guru. You're the financial guru. And as we move into 2023, it's very important for us to understand how to make our money work for us, especially as we're going into what we call in the Caribbean over season. Like, that hits us right off the bat. So what are some of the things that we could do right now to set us up to start 2023 off on the right foot?
So definitely one of the things you want to do now, we are in inflationary times. Everything is going up, no matter what it is, whether it is a need or a want, everything is going up. So I think the first step you need to do is actually revisit those needs and wants. Revisit them, and especially wants. I mean, we can't do anything about the needs because we need it, but definitely revisit some of those wants. Look at it to see if there's any way you can cut back, substitute, delay even, or just reduce the amount of expenditure. And it could be as simple as your if it is, do you need to do your nails every 2 weeks, or could you stretch it to once every month, or could you do it for yourself, right? Could you manage a little Sasha Cosmetics and do it yourself just for a bit to help stretch the dollar a bit, right? At the end of the day, those things add up, and they add up very quickly. So you want to assess the wants and really see, okay, is there any wiggle room at all? You also want to look at the needs a bit too, because like I said, we're in inflationary times. So looking down at the needs, is there any, again, substitution? Is there any sort of wiggle room that you have to maybe change the way that you're buying things, maybe buy in bulk versus buying every minute. Hey, what's your grocery bill? Watch what is happening. If it is somebody, you might have to do a little bit of hunting around to get your supplies when the day come. But I definitely, and this applies to businesses as well, personal and business, looking at the needs and wants. Because even in business, there are wants, right? In business, not every expense is a valid expense. So from both perspectives, you want to take a look at the needs versus wants, and you want to be able to assess, definitely monitor the wants and see if you could reduce it, and the needs, maybe adjust how you're buying, when you're buying, to see if you could bring some balance, because we are inflationary times and you have to prepare for things to get maybe a bit worse before it gets better. Right? Every territory has its own situation depending on where their economies are. We all know our situation in our territory, Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean at large. Things like, everybody who is oil and gas, who is tourism based, take a look at what is happening and you will know what is going to happen very specific to your territory. Now, that being said, if you're assessing these needs and wants, this is money going out, take a look at where the money is coming from as well. Can we diversify? Can we add some additional lines of income coming into your household? This is where we talk about, the side hustles or some other sort of income. This is why you need to, because we're talking about the money's going out. There's no doubt about that. But you also don't want to be in a situation where all your money is coming from one place. Because as we saw with COVID, many people, when COVID hit and their business income dried up, or their sole source of income dried up, they were in serious problems, right? So you want to be able to have some sort of passive income, or even if it is another active income, it must be another source that is not tied to the first one. So in the event that anything happens to one, there's something that you could fall back on. So I think those are the two main things that as you approach your 2023, that you should start to look at to bring some stability to your finances.
I am in love with everything that you said, because money is not my love language. At least saving money, spending money is my love language. As a marketer at heart, we love to spend money. It has been a running joke in the industry. Marketing and finance are always butting heads because we love to spend money and finance loves to save the money. So we understand
finance wants to account for the money. Finance wants to know that the money has been well spent. I have no problems giving marketing money.
That's not how we see it.
I have no problems giving marketing money, but you need to spend it right.
We don't see it that way. We see it as you are keeping us back. But I love what you talked about, even if you want to do your nails every week. I'm not a nails person, as you all can see. I'm not a nails person, but everybody has their thing. But I love how you talked about not just looking at the wants and the needs, but also where can we get additional income. So for example, I teach. In addition to my primary business, I also teach on the side. And I found that is a really good additional source of income. So look at, your skills, what it is that you can do, what are the additional services that you can offer, and see if that could bring in some additional funds for your business. Now, I kind of want to stay on the same wavelength. I see a lot of people are joining in. I saw Dana. So a few people joining in. So pleasant good night to everyone out there. We're talking to Andrea Ragoo, the financial guru. So you talked a lot about we're in an inflationary period. And I did mention to you that, we're going into guava season. We're going into the tough time of the year. And we're hoping that after, this tough time, things will be smooth sailing from there on out. So you talked about looking at the wants and the needs, but is there anything additional we can do? Things like maybe opening accounts, commingle. I know a lot of people still have the commingling of funds. Is there anything we can do to kind of set ourselves up so when it is like we're ready to pull money aside or ready to save, we are in a better position to do that?
So definitely, yes. So we don't want the commingling, first of all. We don't want that. We do want some sort of separation. And commingling, we use the term in business, but I could also apply it to your personal finances as well. Because in your personal finances, you will have different goals. So you may be saving towards, there's the goal to buy a house, there's the goal to buy a car, there's the goal to set aside money for university, right? There, each household probably has maybe 3 to 5 main things that at any one point in time, they are trying to save towards or trying to fund, right? So if you apply that commingling principle, I would say definitely you want to assess your finances and separate it a bit so that you have some dedicated saving lines or dedicated spending lines, so to speak, because you don't want to just put all the money in one savings account and have say, well, yeah, all the money for university in there, the money for the down payments in there. This is how money gets lost and this is how money gets spent. And it's the same thing on the business side as well, why we don't commingle personal with business. And even within business, I also recommend business owners to open another account to set aside savings for the business as well. The money that you're operating from is not the same money that you should be saving from. So you want to make sure you want to remove funds from the operating, set it aside another account, and then that now gives you a clear line of sight as to whether you're achieving the goal or not. In the same vein, on your personal side, you want to remove the money from the salary account. And even if you have to open 2, 3 different accounts, and it could be simple as just different bank accounts. It could be, for us in Trinidad and Tobago, we have unit trusts, we have credit unions, right? You could decide, you could spread the money, and it also helps with the diversifying aspect that we spoke about before with different sources of things, right? So you could decide to spread, I'll put money in this credit union account, and that money is for my university, right? The money in this different account, that is the down payment for the car, and so on and so forth. So definitely creating some structure to how you do the finances, because I remember even my own self years ago, I had a unit trust account, and that was where I was saving for the degree, and that was money that religiously that money was going there, and when it was time to start the degree, that is where the money came from, and there was no confusion as to, well, I need to, where the money was going to come from and any commingling, so to speak. So definitely have a clear line of sight of the goals. Have a clear line of sight of, okay, 2023, what are we working towards? Are we working, when is the child going up? If the university is in 2 years, you want to be able to start setting up yourself to be able to direct funds towards that goal.
Yeah, I love everything that you're saying. And I want you, for the listeners, especially out there, what would you say to somebody who feels like they are too far gone when it comes to managing their finances? They feel like they're too much in debt. They feel as if, they haven't done the right thing. They're pushing 30, not pushing 30, but pushing 40. They're in their 30s, pushing 40, pushing 50. And they feel like, oh my goodness, I should have done this and I should have done that and I haven't done it. Am I too far gone? What kind of advice would you give to that person?
So at the end of the day, I wouldn't say people too far gone. I would just say your journey is just going to take a little bit more discipline than somebody who's in their 20s. So I wouldn't say you're too far gone for fixing. Never, right? There's always an opportunity to try to bring things back. But it just means that your journey is going to look a bit different. Dare I say, even a bit rougher than somebody who's trying to undo a decision when they are in their 20s, right? Hell, when in 20s apparently is the decade to make all the bad decisions. We are all in the same boat in the 30s trying to undo what we did or didn't do in our 20s, right? So the earlier that you could pick up,
we're not far gone. We're right on track, basically.
But it just means that the road just gets a little bit different. So what it may mean, though, is that you're going to have to be more disciplined. So, of course, if you're in your 50s trying to undo mistakes from before, you have to have the highest amount of discipline because, of course, we want to retire at 60. Most people want to retire at 60, so your gap is going to be shorter. If somebody is mid-30s trying to undo decisions, they have a little bit more time, right? So never say that you're too far gone, but just know and understand that if you are trying to pull yourself out in your 50s, your journey is going to look a little bit more rough than somebody who's trying to pull themselves out in their 40s. 10 years could make a big difference in terms of being able to build back up things like pension and savings and things. So what I would say is you're not far gone, you're never too far gone, but just know it will require a hell of a lot of discipline.
So just basically start now. Start right now, this minute, this second.
Right now.
Do not delay. The faster you get started, better everything is going to turn out. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Guys, we are talking to Andrea Ragoo from ATR Business Solutions. She has been here sharing with us a plan for financial success. We're going into 2023, guys. We're going into a tough season, and we need to start putting things in place. And Andrea is going to be sharing her additional information, additional knowledge, just from her experience, from personal experience dealing with clients at the Strategic Power Planning Party, the Brunch, which is on Sunday, the 11th of December. So guys, it's a 3-day event. Let me explain. On the 9th and the 10th of December, I am going to take the wheel, help you plan your strategy, help you plan out your launches. You're gonna get a copy of the female CEO publicity calendar, and you will be able to map out all your dates from January to December, how you're going to plan. And then on day 3, which is the brunch, we're going to have people like Dana, we're going to have Andrea, and a whole host of other people sharing their knowledge, their experience, to give you the tools you need to make sure 2023 is an absolute success. It's not just about the planning and the organizing, that's important, but how do we keep and retain the money? How do we make the things work for us? How do we work towards our vision? How do we go out there and network properly and make the connections? Remember, networking is not just about making a sale. We're making connections, forming relationships. How do we make all of that work for us? That is day 3. So be sure to get your ticket. If you go to my profile, click the link in the bio. It is there. Be sure to grab your ticket. So, Andrea, before we close off, because this is just a teaser, you all will get all of Andrea on Sunday, right? But this is just a teaser. But I have to ask you, you are a client of mine, and I apparently is the PR queen. Everybody keeps calling me this. I'm not upset that people call me this. It's just weird, right? But you and I have been working together for quite a while, and I have to ask you, because I want to share with the people who are listening, who might be nervous about showing up, nervous about being in the press, nervous about being interviewed and stuff. You were very timid, I will use that word, when you first started, but how has showing up using the media worked for you in terms of helping people with your knowledge, your experience? How has that worked for you?
So it's worked really, really well from the perspective of I love that I got to show up in a way that I was comfortable. So a lot of my features have been articles which was written. So it was almost behind the scenes, written word, or even if it was an interview, it was translated into an article until, I felt right in terms of doing interviews. But what also helped as well is that I also, in my own business, started to do lives and stuff with shows. So that also helped build my confidence in being able to show up when needed, right? But definitely it's impacted the business, because now I meet people and it's like, yeah, I saw you, and I saw you. Somebody told me recently, a colleague said, I've been seeing you everywhere. I was like, oh, really?
Isn't that a really good thing when people tell you that?
Yeah, he's like, I just feel like I see you everywhere. I was like, okay, well, where have you been seen? He's like, you're like, I've seen you in the papers and I've seen you in the papers and things. He's like, but you're doing that on purpose? I was like, yes, I am. It is very strategic. You think I'm just, out here just, wilding and just, oh yeah. It's like, no, it's very strategic with why I'm doing it. But it has definitely impacted the business, because it really has helped to establish my image and establish that authority. When I Google myself now, and those articles come up.
Yes.
And they come up first. And the thing about it is, when you get into that digital space and you're trying to put yourself out there on on the internet, you it's very difficult to rack up those SEO points and things right away, right? Because we're not going to get into all the tech stuff, but you can't just, you have a website, okay, yeah, that takes work to drive people to the website. So I don't even have my website up and fully running yet, but yet still when you Google, you're seeing these, I am showing up. And I think, you know, that works wonders for me. So all I have to do now is, you know, put my backlinks to those articles on my own website. And that helps, you know, to keep all the clicks going, you know, all the techie stuff. But, you know, when you're trying to grow your business, publicity is a faster way and a more, I guess, credible way of putting yourself out there rather than trying to build the points. And not that we're saying that website not important. Absolutely not. It is critical. It's an important part of your structure. But if you remember when you start a business, everything don't fall into place at the same time, right?
True.
It's a little bit. So I've used the past couple of months to focus on my publicity. My next journey would be, okay, let's focus on the websites and everything will come together. So I think, you know, it has been a wonderful opportunity to be able to put myself out there. One, you know, just for the experience, first of all, of being able to do the interviews, understand this whole concept of putting a profile of yourself out there. I was able to develop a consistent image that I didn't know that I had, right? I didn't know that there were certain things that I say a particular way all the time. And I found myself being able to find a rhythm to say, okay, this is how I want to present myself in any article. So I would say, you know, it was a really, really good experience. And any business owner, small business owner who is trying to just fight that social media internet game, try to look at some publicity. It could help you on that road a bit faster.
So you guys have heard it from the financial guru herself. You have permission.
The virtual CFO.
Yes, the virtual CFO. You have permission to invest in publicity for your business.
Yes, it is CFO approved.
You have CFO approved. You have a blessing. All right, Andrea, this was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you all the viewers and listeners out there. Guys, the Strategic Power Planning Party is coming up December 9th to 11th. It is Power Strategy Day 1. We strategize, we literally make sure everything is in place for your launches. Day 2, Power Planning. We plan everything. You get the calendar and we map out all those dates. You even know exactly not only where to show up, but when to show up. Very critical for your business. When is the best time for you to show up? This is what the calendar is going to help you do. And then, of course, day 3, Power Party, aka the brunch. You know how we Trinis do it. You're going to come, you're going to network, you're going to meet fantastic business owners, CEOs, just like you, just like Andrea, just like Dana, just like Jamila who jumped on. Hi, Jamila. You're going to meet and greet all these fantastic people because you can't do it by yourself. Community is important, and we're going to give you all the tools that you need to make sure 2023 and beyond works for you. You're going to build the life and the legacy that you want. No more hustle mode, no more client to client, no more stress and no more tears in the dead of night. Gonna make sure it works for you. So thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Andrea, for being here. And I will see you guys on December 9th. Click the link in the bio to get your ticket. Yeah? Bye, guys.
Bye.